Least. We only have 5 minutes to go, but we're going to go 5 minutes over into the question period to give you a full 10 minutes for questions. And I'll point out people in the audience, and the person with the microphone perhaps can go to, first of all, Jay Lear.
I don't really need a microphone. I don't mean to scare anyone here, but I think that you should all be warned and have an opportunity to leave now, because the carbon dioxide content of this room is now risen to 1,473.
Next question over here with Tom.
Thank you. I'm Tom Weissmuller, part of the NASA TRCS group. And we have a couple of other of us in the audience, too. I really want to take issue with one of Myron's statements. Now, I love Myron. He's great. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. But with Jim Bridenstine was appointed by President Trump to run NASA and turn that agency around because the Obama administration had gutted it. So what Bridenstine is doing, first of all, I'm going to take a poll in the room. How many of you in the room, show of hands, think that climate is a critical issue for this country? Well, we got one, but it's all right.
Looks like there's about four.
Would you want the administrator of NASA to focus on climate? He has a mission to accomplish. He has to fix that agency. He has to get people back in space. You don't want to waste his time on climate. And what Bridenstine did is he basically sidestepped the issue and focused on the mission of his agency. I think it was brilliant on his part. And believe me, I think he knows the truth about climate, but he doesn't want to waste his agency's mission orientation to tackle climate, so he just kind of stepped out of the way. And President Trump is mission-oriented. He's there to make America great again. Focusing on climate is not making America great. Let the losers with the Green New Deal show that they are losers, and it's going to happen. Okay.
Okay. And by the way, Tom was one of the Apollo engineers. Yep. And we, 50th anniversary. Wow, making America great. We'll do that again. Next question. Myron would like to answer that. Okay.
Yeah, Tom, I'm afraid we're really going to have to disagree about this. Look, Bridenstine thinks his mission is to get us back into space, but a large part of NASA is climate research. And what Bridenstine has done is taken a pass. He said over and over again in public that he accepts what the scientists at NASA tell him. Well, like Gavin Schmidt. Do you accept what Gavin Schmidt tells you? I mean, look, this is serious stuff. Yeah, it's great to get back into space, but we're talking about policies, if they were adopted based on NASA's junk science, that would cost this country trillions of dollars, impoverish people for decades or centuries, and we sure as hell would never get back into space again if we were getting rid of air travel and all traveling by bullet trains. So look, Jim Bridenstine was elected from Oklahoma as a Tea Party Republican, and as far as I can tell, he's gone totally native at that agency.
Yeah, good point. I mean, NASA should focus on its key mission, which is to get us to the moon, onto Mars, into space. That's what they're good at. That's what we want them to do. At least that's what I do, anyway. Next speaker here.
This is John Quapis from Richmond, Virginia. I want to thank all the speakers for great presentations. I think perhaps this is a question more directed at James, maybe Myron as well. I have a proposal for a policy that maybe can help win.
Okay.
Al Gore and the whole variety of global warming alarmist groups have for years been training local people to go out and talk about climate change to Rotaries, chambers of commerce, church groups, local schools to promote this whole fraud. I would propose that our side start developing some seminars to train also people who can go out, who are not trained scientists. That's neither are all these other people on the left. They've got probably several thousand now by now that they have trained to do this. If we could start doing that as well with maybe regional seminars around the country for people to go to, a one-day seminar that focuses on training these people how to make these presentations and also providing some presentation aids such as the environmentalist groups do to their regional speakers as well. I think that could help us win on the issue. Is that something that maybe could be developed?
That is a fantastic idea, and Chesapeake Energy, I'm waiting for your check so we can fund that. Oh wait, you gave all your money to the Sierra Club instead. But $26 million over 3 years of fossil fuel money to the Sierra Club, more than the Heartland Institute's entire budget. That being said, it is important to reach people in every way we can. I'll be speaking in the Naples area next week to, I believe it's a Rotary group. If not, it's a group similar to that. And Jay Lair goes out and speaks quite a bit to groups. I do, and hopefully others will as well. As far as training people goes, that's something we have looked into in the past. It's something that perhaps we will be able to do in the future, and certainly for folks who might be interested in doing so, contact me, and we'll see what we can do. And just as importantly, despite the media myth that we're daddy warbucks in terms of our funding, we need funding to do that as well. So if you're listening and you are somebody that would like to contribute to this effort, please let me know.
Can I just add one thing to that? I have here, and I put it on a table out here, a couple of pages of funding levels for environmental groups. And I just happen to have a copy here. If you want one, and there aren't any more, I'll give you one. But Al Gore's Climate Reality Project in 2017 had $11,952,000 of funding to train those people. By the way, my excellent intern who's here somewhere, Sam Rutzik, produced this. I didn't do it. Look, if you add up the top 10 environmental groups, they have an annual budget of over $1 billion. So Heartland's what, 6, 7, 8? We're 7 at CEI, and we do 1/3 or 1/4 of our work is on energy and environment. We're one of the larger groups in town that works on these issues. So it's a couple $1 million budget, and the Sierra Club has $141 million. NRDC has $177 million. Environmental Defense has $146. You get the idea.
Can I just add to that also? As Myron talks and I scan the room, I see my good friend Craig Rucker. And CFACT, the Committee for a Constructive Tomorrow, Craig was on stage earlier, they do a fantastic job with resources even more limited than ours in terms of training people, especially young people. And they're out at the United Nations conferences and they're bringing attention to the reality of what these UN policies impose on people. Work with Craig Rucker. Better yet, give CFACT money, because for the tremendous impact that they have on such a small budget, much smaller than ours, I'll tell you what, if you believe in climate realism and you want to make a difference, CFACT is a group that is terribly underfunded. And also, CEI, Heartland, believe me, we'll put your money to good use. It does cost a lot of money for these things. We are doing what we can, and I'm glad that I just happened to notice Craig in the audience, because they're a group that does an exemplary job.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to wrap up in 2 minutes, so I ask the questioners to be quick and the answers quick, and we may get 2 more questions in.
Yeah, hi. My name is Alan Carpian. I'm a retired attorney from EPA, and I retired because I couldn't stand working for another Clinton administration. And then I said, oh my God. And by the way, just a comment, the speeches up here, particularly yours, Dr. Ebell,
is a great reason why you should have been a high official at EPA, because that's where these things are made. You can petition EPA forever. I know, because I dealt with those petitions. What I'd like to do, it's kind of related, but in the magazine First Things, a man named Sohrab Ahmari, he wrote a manifesto a few months ago, basically saying what you're saying here, but in general. In other words, don't compromise with the left. And he was picking out a number of people, some of whom had been converted never-Trumpers. And then he wrote another article saying against David Frenchism, and I don't even know if any of you know who they are. Sohrab Ahmari is the editorial writer of The Post. He's written for the Wall Street Journal. And his idea is, don't compromise, don't be nice, because if you're nice, you're going to be in trouble. I don't know if any of you know that, but any comments?
Thank you.
Just time for a quick answer, and that'll be it for the session.
Thank you very much. I think that's a great comment. I know Myron appreciates that.
Yeah, I could never work in the bureaucracy. No, sorry, sorry. And it's Mr. I'm not a doctor.
Okay, well, that's it for today's session. Panel 5 starts in 10 minutes, advancing from theory to practice in 10 minutes.